Welcome into Titan Game Day morning, live from Houston, Texas, here on this beautiful Sunday, at least down here. I hope you guys are having the same kind of weather back in Nashville or wherever you are consuming us here this evening. Already the comments are flying fast and furiously. A new era has begun in Nashville. All right, everybody, here's what we're going to do, okay? For the next 15 minutes, because that's how much time we spend with each other on Titan Game Day morning. For the next 15 minutes, you're going to do the thing that it's going to be very hard to do. You're not going to overcorrect one way or the other just because Malik Willis is starting today. Okay? Let's make a promise to ourselves to do that, because I don't want to waste your time, because I'm not doing that. You don't want to waste my time, although I'm sure most of you don't mind wasting my time. You don't want to waste my time with silly nonsense like that. So let's all go ahead and just have a normalized discussion, even though the circumstances are a little different today. New era, before he takes a snap? 10 deep breaths, 20 short ones, whatever makes you feel better about yourself. And then if we are going to overreact, it's going to be tonight on A to Z Sports Prime Time. But today, this morning, is about analysis. So let's go through the three keys for success. We've got a best bet for you at the end of the show, and we certainly will enjoy doing all of those things with you live from Houston. Before we get started, do me the courtesy, share this show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. If you're hanging out on Twitter, retweet the show. That's the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Facebook Live, it's share now to public. In fact, I'll do that myself from my Facebook profile. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. YouTube or Twitch, wherever it is that you prefer to hang out with us, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you would be kind enough to do so. And with that being said, we can go ahead and get this thing rolling on a Sunday morning. Jordan Lowry says if Malik shows out, Buck's show, I assume he's talking about the radio show in the morning, is going to blow up. Well, listen, Mondays are a layup day for me, whether it's Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, whomever. But yeah, it'll be a little spicy from 10 to 1 on the radio. Either way, let's start this thing, shall we? Welcome into Titan Game Day morning, live from Houston, Texas. As always, you know, we are presented by Two Rivers Ford. 2023 model year Fords available now. If you want a new F-150, they got them in stock. Go test drive your next vehicle today at Two Rivers Ford, or check out their online inventory at tworiversford.com. The Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. GaryAshton.com is where you go for your dream address without the stress. The Intel Edge is where you go for, or rather, GaryAshton.com is where you go for the Intel Edge, and that's how we get down. Superbook Sports, where you go to wager on football, baseball, basketball, whatever your heart desires. Superbook Sports will match your first bet up to $1,000, win or lose. They have got the best odds boosts and promotions. Terms and conditions available at superbook.com today. So yes, this is a particularly interesting game for the reasons that are obvious to everybody, right? Ryan Tannehill, first reported by Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network, missed the Saturday walkthrough. Not only is he dealing with the ankle injury that's cost him some snaps, but he has also been sick as of Friday. The illness and the ankle significant enough to keep him sidelined for this game, which means, drumroll please, Malik Willis is going to get his first NFL start. Now, the Buffalo mop-up duty a couple of weeks ago in week 2, throw it out the window. Like, that's not an accurate sample size of what you're going to see from Malik Willis today, nor is it an accurate sample size of what actual progress he'll be able to make now that he's getting real live game experience, right? So you look at all these things together. You look at the opponent, a divisional opponent who should not be taken lightly. I don't care how many losses they have. I don't care how many times they tie the dreadful Colts. I don't care how many players are out for them. It's a divisional game. Weird shit happens in divisional games. You got to be prepared for anything. So when we go through the three keys to success for the Titans today, as we do every Titan Game Day morning, we're going to focus on this matchup in particular. And the thing that I'm going to tell you is the thing that I wrote for A to Z Sports.com this morning. It's not about the future. I almost said a bad word, a worse word. I don't give a shit about the future. All right? Don't care. Don't care about week 12. Don't care about week 17. Don't care about wild card divisional round 2023. Don't care about any of it. Today is about what they can do with the pieces and parts available to beat the Houston Texans. Beyond that, We got Monday. We got all of next week to talk about whatever the hell happens today. You're going to be pissed at Malik at some points today. You're probably going to fall in love with him because he's an electrifying athlete and you know what he's capable of. You've seen a little bit of it in the preseason. Now we get live game action. So let's start with the first key to success. And I'll ask you guys, what one key to success do the Titans need to accomplish to be able to get this win against the 1-4-1 Houston Texans? We'll talk about it together right after I remind you that Titan Game Day morning made possible, as always, by Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford is where you go for the best car buying experience humanly possible. For 2023 model year Fords available now for the best customer service in the industry. Two Rivers Ford has been doing it for nearly 40 years in Middle Tennessee. Not only are they the best, but their sales staff does not work on commission, which means you're not going to be harassed, you're not going to be pestered. They're just going to make sure that you find the perfect vehicle for your family's budget and needs. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. Custom order your next Ford from Two Rivers Ford. So what is your one key to success for the Titans? I'll get to some of your comments here in just a second as my alarm goes off to remind me to get up to the booth for Titans radio, except it's not a noon game today. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff, so I'm going to have to adjust that to make sure that I don't forget and leave Rhett Bryan and Jimmy White hanging. Anyway, key to success. Let's start with the first one. I think the situation that you have to consider with Malik and under any circumstance, no matter who the quarterback is, they have had this run of success because they do not turn the ball over. They have had one interception in the 4-game winning streak. It came in the first win against the Raiders. They have had one fumble lost last week against the Colts on that funky Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis end-around botched exchange, right? 2 turnovers through 4 games, 4 wins, good defense, constipated offense, but good enough to win, right? Capitalize on field goals, make sure you execute well enough to put the offense in position, make sure you give the defense enough time to kind of catch their breath before they have to go out there and cave in another quarterback's skull. These are the kind of things that really, for the Tennessee Titans, matter more than anything. Turnovers need to be limited, if at all. And of course, that's always a risk when you're dealing with a rookie quarterback in his first start. Malik's going to make mistakes today. Don't freak out about it. Malik's going to make electrifying plays today. In all likelihood, you can get excited about that, but don't overcorrect, right, when you get excited about it. Focus in on the keys to the game. Brett Kern came in studio for the radio show on, I think, Thursday this week, and he brought a bunch of notes from Mike Vrabel's team meetings. Mike has a team meeting with these guys every day. And the thing that he emphasizes, no matter who the opponent is, the 3 keys, long-standing, right? No matter who they play, where they play, or what the stakes are, 3 keys, all right? You outrush the opponent. It increases your chance to win by over 75%. You limit turnovers. It increases your chance to win by over 80%. And the quarterback who has the higher QBR almost always wins the football game. QBR, I feel like I'm doing 3 keys, but these are 3 keys for Mike Vrabel. QBR, turnovers, outrush the opponent. Because if you are outrushing the opponent, it means that you have the lead. It means you're in control of the game. It means you can let Derrick Henry do his thing in the fourth quarter, pile up yards after the fact. All those things, hell, that might as well be the 3 keys this morning. All these things, though, are what they focus in on. They'll game plan for specific opponents, but it's an umbrella policy, right? QBR, outrushing the opponent, and no turnovers. That's how they go about this thing. And so you talk about all of the different things that Malik Willis is going to be presented with. He's going up against the worst rushing defense in football. They're giving up, 165 yards a game. It's literally 32 out of 32. You've got Derrick Henry in the backfield. You've got Malik Willis, who can make explosive plays with his legs. You'll take what you can get in the passing game. But I don't anticipate, I imagine this is going to look closer to Mac Jones on the road in Buffalo, where he threw 3 attempts threw 3 total passes in a win. Or I think maybe, he only threw 3 passes. I can't remember. It was 3 completions or 3 passes. Anyway, it was a super limited sample size for Mac Jones. That situation dictated because of the weather, but also because Bill Belichick didn't want a rookie quarterback turning the ball over in a big spot in a divisional game. I don't know that they're going to throw 3 passes with Malik today. I just know that they're going to look for every opportunity humanly possible to limit those turnovers. And that's the first key to success. Going to give you the second 2 right after I remind you what it takes to get the Intel Edge. It takes one key to success to get the Intel Edge. That's to go to GaryAshton.com, the official real estate agent of the Tennessee Titans, the Nashville Predators, and your boy. I got my dream address without the stress through the Ashton team almost 4 years ago, which makes me feel old. In fact, I felt even older today because Teron DM'd me a video of us and Delaney Walker in the locker room in 2018, and it's shocking how much worse I look at 29 than I did at 25. Either way, get your dream address without the stress from the Ashton team. The Intel Edge will help you to succeed at GaryAshton.com. Trust the team that your favorite teams trust. So, what comments do we have today? Josh says, constipated offense. Nice one, Buck. I've been making, it's a, no pun intended, it's a shitty joke, and I've been making it for 7 years. But that's basic, it's been 7 years of constipation for the Tennessee Titans on, 5 years of constipation on offense, 2019 and 2020, the outliers when they led the league in explosive plays and were top 3 in any case. LOL, Jeff Fisher said the same things. Enough said, says MB. Hey, Kern was spot on that. And Jeff is still the winningest coach in the history of the franchise. Now, he's also got as many losses as almost any professional head coach in the sport, in the history of the sport. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Stacey A. Madden says, Buck, why are the Texans now favored? Well, that's easy because the Titans don't have their starting quarterback and the Texans are at home. I think I saw the line move, and I need to recheck Superbook this morning. I saw the line move yesterday to a pick'em. Titans were favored by 2.5 as the road team when last I looked, now down to a pick'em as of last night. And then this morning, I would imagine it has shifted in favor of the Houston Texans, and it should shift in favor of the Houston Texans from a betting perspective because you're good for at least 3 points at home. And it does matter that I think it's kind of a silly question, Stacey. I'm not making fun of the question. I think it's isn't it obvious? They don't have their starting quarterback. This is a guy who's been in the league, a decade plus at this point, and a rookie quarterback who's got a lot of raw material to work with, but jack shit for a sample size of what he's capable of doing or not doing in the NFL. We'll find that out today. We haven't gotten there yet, but Vegas is looking at this and like, oh, okay, I know a little bit about this guy, but I don't know much, so I'm going to go ahead and put the odds in favor. Now, it's a more complicated process than that. Go ahead and put the odds in the favor of the home team because that's always the safer bet in these situations, particularly when the other team is without their most reliable player. Ryan Tannehill just broke the franchise consecutive starts streak for Steve McNair and then immediately missed the next start. So you look at all these situations and you say, okay, it makes a lot of sense right now. So let's go ahead and get the second and third key to success in the game. But I want you to hear from Mike Vrabel after the Colts game, talking about the way that they have to win, the turnovers included in that. Here was the Titans head coach a week ago today.
I don't know. It's good defense. It's great. It's great to get turnovers and, for the most part, take care of the football. That's going to be the formula. If you guys haven't figured that out, that's how we're going to have to play. But it's a battle. It's a good defense. It's a very good defense. So we were close on some things, and we'll have to continue to look and work. But I'm just extremely proud of these guys. I'm proud of all 3 phases.
So that's Mike Vrabel last Sunday after beating the Colts, talking about, this is the way that we have to win games. If you guys aren't in on the formula, you know it by now. And he's correct. Now, the thing that you don't want to totally inhibit is Malik Willis's ability to make plays. That's why the second key to success, and it may kind of run up against the first key to success to a degree, but you have to understand that there's a balance, right? You got to let Malik Willis cook today. You got to let that guy play fast, play freely, put him in positions to succeed. He may not know the full playbook. I know he doesn't know the full playbook. I know that he's still getting comfortable with things like being under center and operating the huddle inside of a 40-second play clock. There's a lot that this guy has had to consume, but it does benefit him that he wasn't tossed out there right away in week 1, like Marcus Mariota, like Vince Young, who are the most recent examples of drafted Titans quarterbacks. Jake Locker had a little while behind Hasselbeck to kind of, it didn't necessarily help him, but just still had time, wasn't thrown immediately out there. So even though Malik Willis has not been running the offense in practice because he's the scout team quarterback, which means he's running the other team's offense, he still had time to process, to go through mechanical things, to learn how to operate the huddle in a more efficient fashion. All of those things are, of course, hugely beneficial. So you got to let Malik Willis cook today. You got to give him enough of a sample size of the playbooks, of the plays that he does know within the playbook to be able to play fast, freely, and comfortably. You can't let that guy get in his head today because, I mean, he doesn't strike me as, I don't know him terribly well. He just got here, but he doesn't strike me as somebody who's overwhelmingly easily rattled. And with Todd Downing talking about Malik Willis earlier this week, I believe Thursday was the day, you know, they've obviously been looking for a couple of different ways to get him incorporated. And now today he's running the show.
We got to see Malik in there and not just traditional quarterback role. Is that something that you're kind of bringing along, like a package that you would like to present for him to have an additional impact?
He's such a talented athlete, and you know, we all remember from the preseason. I mean, I think he has the longest run to date, including preseason. You know, so looking for ways to have him on the field, and then the first couple of times he was on the field, it was, you know, make them say, hey, they got two quarterbacks out there, and we were just running a bread and butter scheme. So, you know, a little bit of a balance there, and obviously had the exchange issue on the one. It's a well-blocked play. Cody Hollister did a great job. If we get that exchange, you know, I think we're talking about a pretty big play there. So, you know, we'll see where that expands and how far we want to go with that.
Gets Todd down, and Ken Caniff says, let him use the air fryer. He might burn down the house. It's funny. I saw my friend Tiffany Blackman. She does college football games for ESPN. Her air fryer was literally on fire in her apartment building the other day. So now that visual is going to be in my head as I watch Malik Willis take the field against the Texans. Either way, got to let the man cook. Got to let him get out there. And obviously, it was going to be a Derrick Henry game plan either way. Now, I thought the way that they used him last week, it was probably the best game that he played. It also looked, I mean, deeply unhealthy. The way that they just slamming this guy 30 attempts into the line over and over and over and over again. And this is how it goes. It's not sustainable through a 18-week NFL regular season. But when you need it in spurts, you know Derrick can do it. And damn sure you need it today. So let the king work. Let Malik cook. Limit the turnovers. You got to win. That's how this is going to go down. We'll see if it actually goes down that cleanly. In all likelihood, not at this point for the Tennessee Titans. Wrap things up with a Superbook Best Bets here on the A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Morning Show. We're always grateful. By the way, thank you to Sam Phelan, who helped me get it together today. I don't know where Reed is. I forgot where he went. But either way, Sam has been helping me Thursday and Sunday morning. And I'm useless without the people that help me. So I'm very grateful to both of them. Who make it possible on a regular basis. Jimbo says, Buck's the biggest hater. You're damn right. I even got my my player hater suit today. It's Halloween weekend. I got the Grimace suit. I'm ready to rock. But in the meantime, we'll do the best bet at this point on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It's presented by Superbook Sports. That's where you go to wager this football season, this basketball season, hockey, baseball, whatever you like. Superbook Sports has you covered. They give you the opportunity to take on the best odds makers in Vegas. No matter what the line is, win or lose, they offer you the best odds, boosts, and promotions. They'll even match your first bet up to $1,000, win or lose, in the Superbook Sports app. So, looking at this situation for the best bets today. Now, at this point, Henry's rushing yard, and Sam has just included this in our text today, Derrick Henry's rushing yards is over or set at 104.5. So 104.5. That's funny because that's where I work. Henry's rushing yards, 104.5. To go over that today would seem, like an interesting bet, given that this is not an over that you would take in many other circumstances. It is worth noting that the last three times that Derrick Henry has played the Texans, obviously he did not play them at all last season because he was hurt for both of those games. That Derrick Henry is on a 3-game, 200-plus yard rushing total against the Houston Texans. He has had more success against the Houston Texans even than the Jacksonville Jaguars, who we know he likes to get out there and bully on a regular basis. So I would take the over for Derrick Henry today, 104.5 rushing yards in the Superbook Sports app. That is where you go to make your best bet as is always the case. We appreciate Superbook Sports for making it possible. All right, when next we speak, it's going to be in about 8 minutes because I've got Titans radio to do with Blaine Bishop and Mickey Ryan. I'll be in the stadium about, 1 o'clock today. We'll have a great time. And then prime time from NRG tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll have a great time together. Enjoy the game. We'll see what happens with Malik, and sure as hell we'll talk about it.